Week review. Hey, this is GatorX, and it's been about a week since Sword and Shield were, well, almost a week since it's been announced. It's been a week since the announcement of when it would be announced has been announced. Point is, Pokemon Sword and Shield's going on now. The cool thing about it is there are lots of discussion, lots of theories, even though I think a lot of people are kind of doing the same thing, including myself. We're all just talking about their regions. We're all just talking about, like, map breakdown, the trailer analysis, all this and that, but definitely things are going to start to diversify and expand, but I still think it's cool. There's a lot that I've been watching. The thing is, though, leaks have come about, and you know, I wasn't exactly sure whether or how controversial this discussion is going to get, if at all. I was like, you know, mask on, mask off, you know, screw it, mask off. But point is, I'm sure we've all seen this beautiful thing right here, this leak going around. Now, the thing is, though, recently, the artist came out and said, this fake, and yeah, and of course, you know, that just brings out about the thing of, like, in my other video the other day, we got fan art of the Sword and Shield starters immediately. We got, like, immediately, like, within 5 minutes there was fan art. Within 30 minutes there was Rule 34 fan art. Somehow, people work fast. And concept artists work fast. And again, you know, you can obviously make concept stuff. In our Discord server, we've been talking, you know, a lot about the cool concept stuff, especially for Grookey, because Grookey's the big meme Pokemon. You know, fan art, right, that people are making. And you can obviously make fan art like this. I think it's cool. But the problem is when it kind of somehow starts to get passed around as a leak, and I think people can talk about this again. That's the big thing, right? There are videos about these videos because it's a rumor, it's a potential leak, it's this and that. And I've kind of noticed, you know, some channels shifting to talking about just in general, saying like, oh, starter concept, you know, rather than coming, because a lot more people are coming out and saying, you know, hey, this is fan art that I made, rather than potentially trying to pass it off as some sort of leak, which not everyone does that. Obviously, I think more people make fan art of, like, what they would love to see these Pokemon come out as eventually when they evolve, right? And I think that discussion is kind of fine. I think maybe the starter discussion specifically has gotten extremely excessive. Again, you know, it mostly comes from the fact that this is all we have of the game. And again, we got a whole lot of the game. Remember just how crazy some of the discussion was for Sun and Moon when all we got was the logos, the names, and a little bit of, like, behind the scenes, you know, concept art stuff. But point is, one interesting thing, Joe Merrick on Twitter, which, by the way, you know, whether you like him, dislike him, I think in a way what he says here, in this tweet that I saw, he says, seriously, I wish people would stop using the word leak when they mean rumored or fake. Yes, it gets clicks and thus money, but it's lying to your audience. Calling things leaks when they're not is just factually wrong. If you must use the word leak, turn it into a question. Audiences are impressionable. For example, it took forever to explain my nephew that you can't catch Dragonair in Sandalwood Forest or Machamp because he saw it in a randomizer video on YouTube. I get so many messages about things being leaks because a YouTuber said it. So I ask all of you who follow me, please respect your audience, use the correct terms, and don't lie to them. Thanks to all of you who already do, and you know who you are. And, you know, he kind of retweeted this from True Green, who says kind of the same thing. He says, hey guys, so is it possible to tone down language that makes unconfirmed rumors seem like actual leaks? Whether or not a rumor may be false or an actual leak, which you don't have any knowledge of, is still getting out of hand. Now, I don't think that with like leak culture right now, I don't think it's gotten as bad as like it used to be. You know, this image very quickly it was like confirmed fan art, and even when people kind of thought that, you know, maybe it might be something, the discussion wasn't huge. And I'm so sorry, but I'm using this image for the sake of, like, just because it's kind of the only one out there, sort of, or one of the big ones. There are a lot here and there, but I feel like they're only talked about for like a day, if at all. People might not even get to making videos on it. And, you know, the thing with leaks is, we talked about it yesterday. You know, I made a video that was kind of about leaks. It was about, yeah, here. It's about the armored Pokemon stuff. And I tried to do my best to, and you know, who knows, it might not even have been the best. You know, the fact that I talked about it, the fact that I covered it, might have still harbored the culture around, or the speculation around this being potentially real. And again, you know, it does come from a leak, or it comes from a post that has some truth in it, but again, everything else that hasn't already been proven as truth could easily potentially just be fiction. It could all be fake. And I try to approach it as a theory, and I don't want to like be defending myself. You know, if at all this video ever seemed like misleading, like I'm harboring rumors or fake leaks, let me know. I thought it was a fun idea to talk about, but and there's still some discussion going around about Sword and Shield and the leaks. And, you know, I don't want to call out anybody here. Obviously, you can make discussions. You can use Fakemon in your thumbnails. That's fine. That's it. I think when your typical viewer base knows the type of videos you post. You know, for example, like before Generation 8 was announced, I made like a mock-up Switch case with using a friggin' Spectrobe instead of a Pokemon, and like everyone knew it was a Spectrobe, basically everyone who commented. And so that's the thing, and I wanted to talk about that a while ago, like how far should clickbait go? And I'm gonna say this right now, everybody clickbaits. Everybody wants you to click on their video. Now, the term that I think works best is click-friendly, something that's enticing and in a non-deceptive way, or at least as non-deceptive as you can get, or, you know, trying to be. And using hypothetical stuff in the thumbnail, right? Like, look, see, you know, this is a Fakemon, so it's like, you know, the discussion itself is about this, about, you know, Scorbunny's evolution, right? Like the starter evolutions and what they could potentially be, and you know, maybe something, you know, a rumor, like right here, yeah, it says huge new rumor, right? Which HDV is a pretty cool guy. So using a Fakemon in the thumbnail does kind of help portray, visually portray what you're going to be talking about, right? But at the same time, it's like, you know, how far should you go? Because if some people are extremely impressionable. Some people could take even just a thumbnail as it being legitimate, but at the same time, I don't know how many people like typically do. And you know, even this thing of like using hypotheticals, right? You're just using a shadow. Does that count as is that clickbait? How much clickbait is it? Again, like I said, I think that it should be enticing. You can use hypotheticals, but at the same time, there are times when people could be using hypothetical stuff like this that potentially is extremely misleading. That's very deceptive. And I don't want to get too deep into that. I don't have exactly like solid, concrete like examples right now. But for the most part, typically I think like using Fakemon in the thumbnail is like alright, and I think like especially with wording, you kind of maybe need to be like careful with how you present things. Like obviously, you know, you put big rumors, right? Like in big words, rumors. That kind of helps, I suppose. But at the same time, like, you know, you have a Fakemon, and some people could get not tricked by it, but some people could be like just not know. And again, you know, back to me, I feel like I need to clean up how I tend to do thumbnails also. You know, the big lettering, I think that maybe it's alright. But again, if by chance you disagree or you think I could improve, please let me know, because I'm kind of at the mercy of all my wonderful viewers who give me good feedback, and again, who, you know, call me out if I'm not doing something the best I could be, which I totally welcome that. At the same time, you know, the thing is though, I've noticed with leak culture this time around, it doesn't exactly seem like it's really sticking. I'm not seeing as many people fervently defending something that, you know, like a rumor or a fake leak, as much as like last year with the starters. How again, that was probably like on me, how I talked about, hey, these are fake. And I didn't exactly say how they're fake. I kind of went into that, and just tons of hate. Just got tons of hate, and then literally the next day, they were confirmed fake. But that's the thing, you know. I feel like we need to try to go into like rumors and fake leaks, or rumors and quote unquote leaks, with the assumption that they're fake, or the assumption that they're just rumors. And but at the same time, some of the stuff ends up being confirmed, like with the Alola starter evolutions. And I realize that I'm pretty dark, but the Alola starter evolutions, right? Those ended up being real. and I was very sure that they were fake. Because they just didn't exactly seem super real, and because we typically don't get leaks like that. But as we know, they ended up being real. So I think like the whole discussion with rumors and leaks is a mess. It's not necessarily the fault of YouTubers talking about them. I think they're responsible to a degree. Again, myself included, I'm responsible to a degree for various things. Also, people just on the internet in general, they're responsible for how much research they do, how impressionable they are. And again, you know, a lot of people are young on the internet. And like I said, that's the responsibility of the people talking about rumors and leaks to take into consideration. And again, you know, people who post stuff, because you can't stop people from just posting a bunch of stuff saying like, hey guys, here's my leak, my insider information. It's gonna be called Pokemon Sword and Shield, and it's gonna have all this mumbo jumbo in it. Which again, that's the thing. There's some truth in these. There's some, but the truth we don't find out until much later. But then, does that make it right to assume that everything's fake, and then only when it's true you're like, okay, well, I guess that was fine. Yeah. Like I said, I think leak discussion's kind of a mess. Definitely not as bad as it has been in previous years. I think last year it was terrible, where we had just gotten Ultra Sun and Moon, right? And before Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee was confirmed to be coming out, and so there were just leaks and rumors and discussions and this and that before we got anything about Pokemon Switch. And just before Sun and Moon got announced, or just before Sword and Shield got announced, it was there to a degree, but I think last year was much worse in terms of like how things are. Again, I think a lot more people typically are putting like rumor or discussion or theory or fake leak or this and that in their titles and thumbnails, which is great. And again, I don't think that YouTubers are solely responsible for it. They're responsible to a degree, definitely, a pretty large degree. And, you know, in terms of how they talk about it, how they share it, how often they talk about it, I feel like. But again, you know, if maybe that's your thing, that's your channel, and you're talking about rumors all the time, again, that's the thing. It comes down to, like, where do you draw the line? And with clickbait specifically, which, again, I didn't get too deep into and I didn't want to talk a whole lot about, but that's the thing. Where do you draw the line? Where is it abstract and like, hypothetical, and where does it become deceptive and, well, yeah, deceptive? Because I do think using hypothetical stuff in your thumbnails, as long as you, like, promote it that way, typically that's fine. But a lot of the times, thumbnails can be made in a way where it's very deceptive, where, you know, it's edited to try and look like in-game footage without, like, a big thing that says rumor or a big thing that says, like, hypothetical here and there. And, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, but I guess that's the main point. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And again, I should have said this at the very beginning, but my typical leak PSA is out there. Try to look into things as much as possible. And of course, you know, you see like one video on it, that's great. Maybe watch another video on it. Maybe try to look a little into it yourself. And just kind of assume that they're all rumors. Because for the most part, that's what they all are. They're all rumors. Until, like, it's really confirmed, then it's a leak. But at the same time, you know, maybe you don't want to be left behind like myself when I was like, oh, yeah, these starter evolutions look terrible. This thing. But of course, I ended up loving all of them. Loving Decidueye, Primarina, and especially Incineroar for memes, because meme Pokemon are great and cool. But anyway, again, let me know what you think down in the comments below. We'll continue the discussion down there about leaks and rumors. And again, like I said, this time around, I do not think things are as bad as they were last year in terms of, like, spreading around, things as, or rumors as fact. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Again, I just want to let you know I'm making videos on GatorX Plays, specifically my podcast, which there was a new episode Friday. We're probably going to be recording another episode on this weekend. Again, you know, leave comments there for questions, and I'm probably talking a bit too long. But anyway, if you enjoyed the content, remember to leave a like and subscribe to show your support. You can enable notifications by clicking the bell icon next to the subscribe button. This will make sure you see each new video as it comes out, and will make you a member of the rumored Chingling squad. Anyway, this has been GatorX. Have a nice day.